So you might have heard about the digital product passport, or you haven't, but one thing is for sure, and that it's in the next coming months and years you will hear a lot more about it. So let's just take a moment to really go through what it actually means and what you need to do to stay compliant. To understand why the digital product passport, or also called the DPP, is becoming mandatory, we need to look at the bigger picture. It's not just a standalone initiative, it's a small but crucial piece of a much larger puzzle called the European Green Deal. The Green Deal is the EU's ambitious plan to become the first climate neutral continent by 2050. That means reducing net greenhouse gas emissions by 55% by 2030 compared to the 1990 levels, and planting 3 billion trees across the EU by the end of the decade. Big goals, big changes, all driven by legislation by the EU Commission. The DPP is part of a practical framework that makes this vision possible. It's designed to give consumers better insight into the products that they're actually buying, where they're from, how they were made, and what to do with them when they're no longer needed. It also helps us repair, reuse, and recycle products more efficiently. This shift ties directly to the circular economy. We've gone from a linear economy where we used to buy, use, dispose, to a recycling economy. And now we're entering a new phase, one where materials stay in use for as long as possible and re-enter the system in a way smarter way. The DPP helps enable that. So what is the digital product passport? Well, in simple terms, it's a digital twin to a physical product. It carries key data that tells the story of the product from its origin to its future. The passport will include things such as where the product was manufactured, what raw materials it contains, the carbon footprints of its production, ownership history, instructions for repair, guidelines for recycling. The goal is to give regulators and consumers access to essential product information so we can all make smarter and more sustainable choices. It's also about transparency and accountability. Businesses will need to be upfront about how their products are made and what impact they have, and consumers get the tools to act more consciously. According to a 2023 report from the European Commission, 77% of the people within the EU believes that climate change is a big problem. More than 60% have said that they have taken personal action to fight it themselves within this past 6 months. This isn't a fringe of concern anymore. It's something people genuinely care about, and they want businesses to care as well. So if you're a business owner, you might have been looking into how to stay compliant. You've also probably heard that the DPP could be a competitive advantage, but why? Well, first of all, today's consumers aren't just buying with their wallets. They're making value-based decisions. Sustainability has become a cultural marker, and customers are more loyal to brands that reflect their values. If you can clearly and truthfully show how your business operates and how you're working to reduce impact, you're more likely to build a long-term trust. Secondly, by adopting DPP early, you're positioning yourself as a leader. You're not just following regulations, you're helping to shape the future of your industry, and you're setting the bar for what a responsible business should look like. And thirdly, this is not a recommendation. It is mandatory. You will need to do this. Several product categories will require a DPP by 2026, and more will follow. Now is the time to act, while you still have room to prepare, scale, and not be rushed. So how do you actually stay compliant? Well, there are different ways to manage the data needed for the DPP, but one of the most effective ways to do it is through a product information management system, or also called PIM. It brings everything together in one place, from materials and sourcing details to environmental impact and life cycle data. That means when it's time to generate your DPP, the information is already there, structured, validated, and ready to go. It's clean, consistent, and complete. But it's not just about making your life easier right now. It's also about staying adaptable. A good PIM integrates with your other core systems, like ERP and PLM, and can scale as the DPP requirements evolves. So whether regulations expand or your product range grows, you're not starting from scratch each time. And here's the thing, compliance is just one side of the coin. With the transparency that PIM enables, you're also building trust with partners, platforms, and customers. People want to make informed choices, and this gives them the data to do so. In the end, a PIM doesn't just help you manage the DPP, it helps you reduce manual effort, future-proof your business in a shifting landscape. It helps you to stay competitive. So whether you see the DPP as a challenge, necessity, or opportunity, it's here. And the sooner you start working with it, the smoother the road will be ahead. With the upcoming DPP, there's a lot of things to think about. And honestly, it can feel overwhelming. But do yourself a favor and make sure that you're ready for this huge shift. The right setup now will probably save you a lot of time, effort, and stress down the line. If you're not sure where to start, or if you just want to talk through how a PIM or DPP strategy could help your business, don't hesitate, reach out.